What's up, YouTube? It's Lobo Comics, and I'm here bringing you a few things. Um, First and foremost, this is going to be a video about my DC Comics Lobo collection. Lobo, the main man, the interstellar bounty hunter himself, one of my favorite characters of all time. Ever since I was a kid, I used to collect Lobo comics till since first grade. Since first grade, I was collecting Lobo comics. He's always been one of my favorite characters. Um, and what inspired this video actually is I got a custom piece done, and I hit up none other than Eddie, the comic guy. You guys know Eddie, the comic guy Rodriguez, and man, he hooked me up. He hooked me up with a really cool piece of Lobo, and I'll show that at the very end. I want to show pieces of my collection. I'll show that at the end. And also, I just wanted to give another reminder that we still got the Secret Santa going on, the YouTube community Secret Santa. We're up to about 14 to 15 members now. I will do a better update on that tomorrow or maybe later on today, depending on what time you see this video. But a better update on that. I'm looking to close it out either November 30th, and I'm looking at my calendar over here, which is Thursday, but maybe even better, December 1st, Friday, and I'll hook everybody up and let them know who their Secret Santa is going to be, what they're expecting, or, their what's on their wish list. Better to say not what they're expecting, but what's on their wish list. Got like another 4 or 5 people today, actually, that hit me up and want to do it. Shit, we might be more than 15. Anyway, I'll have a better list tomorrow for sure. But now I'm gonna get to some books. Secret Santa aside, if you guys want to get in on Secret Santa, shoot me an email. I guess, yep, I still got it right here. Shoot me an email at cholulascomics.com, or excuse me, cholulascomics@yahoo.com. Send me an email. Let me know you're interested. Shoot me a link with your YouTube channel name. If you're willing to ship internationally, what your wish list is. And again, it's trying to be fun. We don't want to be, it's not to be a burden. It's not to be, to go all out super expensive. It's just trying to have a little fun around the holidays, spread a little holiday cheer, so to speak. Um, and that's it. So again, if you guys are interested, send me an email, cholulascomics@yahoo.com, and I'll get you involved. And again, tomorrow, I promise you, I'll have a better list as to who's all in it so far and what we got going on so far. All right. Anyways, again, without further ado, show off some of my Lobo books, man. This is Lobo Annual Bloodlines, #1. So a lot of these books I've had since I was a kid. I mean, especially this first huge stack that I'm going to show off right now. Next, I have Superman, the Man of Steel, #30. This is a really great cover for me. This is just a really great matchup, actually. There's been a few times, and there's a couple Superman fans that won't be too happy out there. But man, Lobo kicks ass, including the Man of Steel's ass. Lobo is just a badass all around. And this is actually this is a matchup. This is DC's answer, I feel, personally. I feel this is DC's answer to Hulk versus Wolverine. Hulk versus Wolverine it's a hell of a matchup. It's right there. You guys can see it. It's a hell of a matchup. It's a matchup that's going to grab attention every time. It's a matchup that's going to get fans talking every time. You put Hulk and Wolverine on a cover to any book, and it's like people are going to buy it. People are going to be interested in it. People are going to want it. Um, and I feel this is kind of DC's answer to that. Superman obviously being the bruiser, the Hulk type character, and Lobo being the Wolverine, the badass, the snarl. I mean, obviously, Lobo, and this is coming from a Wolverine fan. Lobo would whoop Wolverine's ass. But it's just it's the same kind of that type of a matchup. So, anyways, enough about that one. Next, I have Batman Lobo, #1. This is book 1 in a 2-part series. This is by Sam Keith. That's book 1, and here's book 2. That old school gritty artwork, that late 90s, kind of reminds you of kind of like The Mask, kind of reminds you of oh man, I can't think of it right now. Anyways, Lobo's back, #1. Now keep this cover in mind. This is Bite Me Fanboy. That's one of his catchphrases, one of his sayings. This is a really good story right here. This is a 4-part series. He dies in one of them. Lobo's back, #2. He comes back reincarnated as a female, as a woman. Lobo's back number 3. As a matter of fact, in this one, I think for part of the story, he comes back reincarnated like as a squirrel or something, if I remember right. I don't know, it's been a while. And then Lobo's back number 4. I think he goes. I think in this one he actually goes up to heaven and gets kicked out. He gets kicked out of hell. He gets kicked out of heaven. The boy gets kicked out of everything. Now here's part of his first ongoing series. This is Lobo Zero. I don't have a whole lot of these. I had more when I was younger. I think I had Lobo number 1 around here somewhere. It's gonna come up. Here's Lobo number 2. This is actually a book that I bought off the rack. I bought this book off the rack when I was I don't know what, 90 something, 94. So I was like 3rd grade, something like that, 2nd grade maybe. Um, and it's just like you see him on this freaking motorcycle with this tough looking dog here, and he's got guns galore. I was like, man, that's something I'm into. I thought it was really cool when I was younger. Lobo number 3, part of his ongoing series. And somewhere in the middle of this, we'll come up with Lobo number 1. They got mixed up. Thought I had these all in order. But anyway, here's Lobo in the chair. Special event. It's like a one-shot. Lobo convention special. And it's kind of funny. You see he got he's doing cover swipes. See, I could have saved this one for Jeff Johnson's 200 video tag, man. See, we got Batman cover swipe, and instead it says Main Man. Here we got the Thrash, but it's after the Flash, obviously, where the Golden Age and the Silver Age Flash meet up. This is Action Comics number 1, but what does he call it? He calls it Action Frags. And then there's Captain Bastich. That's something that they call him. They weren't allowed to cuss in the comics back in the days. He was a bastard, but they called him Bastich. And this is a homage to, or a cover swipe of Marvel number 1 with the Human Torch melting through the wall, but instead it's called Lobo Comics. That's pretty cool. Actually, I got 2 in there. I got 2 bagged in the same one. Un-American Gladiators. This is number 1, and I believe it's a 6-part. Oh, it's a 4-part. It's a 4-part series. This is a really cool series. He's stuck on this gladiator world. They all have to fight each other to survive. There can only be one survivor. The winner survives the whole match and gets paid like a crap ton of money. That's what Lobo's about. He's about his money. So, anyways, I don't have the rest of them. I don't know what happened to him. I used to have the whole set. Lobo Unbound, number 1. A set of great covers right here. Here's number 2. That's his signature hook. He always has his hook on the chain. It's part of his bounty hunter. His bounty hunter get down, I guess. Lobo Unbound number 3. Number 4. Another thing he's always caught saying is frag. Instead of the F word, and instead of saying bastard, he would say bastich. Instead of the F word, he would say frag. Lobo Unbound number 5. And Lobo Unbound number 6. And I like that cover there. He's saying, I won. Yeah, but at what cost? He had to freaking blow everything up just to win. But that's Lobo. That's how he gets down. That's his thug, you know? He's not afraid. He's not afraid to win that way. All right. Those are some of my older books. I got Lobo and Roadrunner by DC Comics. This is number 1. This was a one-shot when they were doing all of their Looney Tunes and DC hero crossovers. I gotta be honest, I didn't care for the storyline too much. And I felt kind of bad because Morrison wrote part of this story. And I really like his artwork. Bill Morrison wrote it. I like this artwork that he did the cover for this one. And I just met him not too long ago. You know what? Let me show that off real quick. This is not completely related, but I met him not too long ago. And I got him to do this for my son. Because he did a lot of the art for The Simpsons. And it's pretty cool. This is your pal, Bill Morrison. Yo, Jonathan, Bart Simpson. So I thought that was pretty cool. I want to show that off real quick. Lobo goes to Hollywood. #1, I believe this is a one shot as well. Justice League Guy Gardner. I just like it because he's punking the shit out of Guy Gardner, and he's my least favorite of all of the Green Lanterns. I just never liked Guy Gardner. Oh, and here we go. Here's my Lobo #1 that I was looking for earlier. Lobo #1. We got that 90s chrome variant pointing to his crotch. And he goes, I got your cover enhancement right here. So they're even in the 90s, they're kind of poking out fun at the fact that they're chroming everything out. Everything's got to be like a gimmick or a hologram or something. And that was the whole point at the beginning of Lobo was he was kind of made originally to poke fun at the grit of the 90s, to poke fun at like heroes like the Punisher and Wolverine who were like anti-heroes. They would do all the dirty work. They were gritty, grimy, rough, tough. And they made Lobo to be like that times 1,000. But the funny thing is, instead of the fans like being on the bandwagon and laughing about it, the fans were with it. They liked it and they wanted more. So that was one of them. I mean, I liked it. I picked these up when they first came out. I think it was a Hall of Comics variant. This is a Justice League Justice League of America #1. So that's the regular dress cover. This is like it's not really black and white. It's more like the old school like brown and white, like the vintage look to it. But it's a really cool cover, really great book. And it was a 3-pack, and this is the Virgin variant. And on the Virgin variant, he's shown classically smoking a stove, like he always does. And it's kind of hard to show because of the damn mylar and the shine, but you guys get the idea, huh? All right, on to my favorite Lobo book of them all. This is Omega Man #3, his first appearance. And funny thing is, when I first got into YouTube, a big thing that was going around was the birthday books, finding out where your birthday book was, what was printed on the month and year that you were born that was of significance. And it's really, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, it's to me, it's more than a coincidence that this is a character that off top I had a connection with, I liked, I collected avidly as a young kid. Um, which brings to mind another thought. Like, I really should not have been collecting Lobo books as a young kid. They were way too violent. There was a lot of jokes and stuff that were way adult and over my level. Um, I'll get back to this real quick. As a matter of fact, if I could find that Lobo #2, I'm not gonna open it, but it's I really remember I vividly remember reading that book as a kid because I read it over and over and over, and it's this book here. And there's this joke in there. So he goes to this planet called Snitch Planet because he's a bounty hunter. He's gonna go get his bounty. He gets a snitch that he finds fishing off a pier, and he uses his hook to coerce the snitch into giving up information on the guy that he's trying to track down. And in that, they kind of walk off panel on the bridge, and he comes back, and they get a close up of Lobo's chain, and he's got a hunk of skin with hair all over it. And his partner tells him, "Yo, how did you get the guy to talk?" Lobo responds with, "I scalped him." His partner says, "But the guy was bald." Lobo says, "Use your imagination." And as a kid, couldn't freaking think of like, well, the guy was bald. Where did he get the hair from? Yeah, you guys get it now, right? As reading this as an adult, I was like, damn, that's what I was reading when I was a kid. But I like the books. What can I tell you? I was collecting them. I probably shouldn't have been, but they let me buy them. That was the 90s. Wasn't nobody's watching us in the 90s. Now we got ratings and all that stuff on comics. But anyway, all right. To get back to this, I thought it was really cool that I've been collecting Lobo since I was a kid, and I had no idea about what the hell a birthday book was. And like I said, you're gonna go back and find what book was printed on the month and year of your birth that had any significance. And I was born June 13, 1983, and this book was printed in June of 1983. So I was like, man, that's dope. Omega Man #3, the first appearance of Lobo. That's my birthday book. So I was pumped to get this when I finally was able to afford it and get it. And I was so pumped I ended up getting me a 9.4 CGC. Maybe someday I'll get me a 9.8, but this is cool with me for now. Fucking glare is killing me. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I was really pumped to get that. All right, and without further ado, the piece de resistance. I had I had this blank Wonder Woman cover. I had this blank Wonder Woman cover that I was thinking for a long time. Like, man, what do I want to get on here? I really want. I had some crazy outlandish ideas, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hit up Eddie. I'm gonna hit up Eddie, and I've always wanted a Lobo, like a custom Lobo. And he was like, yeah, I could do a Lobo for you. And then I was like, Eddie, am I doing too much if I ask you for a connecting cover or a wraparound cover? He was like, okay, well, what do you have in mind? And I was like, look, you use your imagination. I want Lobo in the front, and I want him saying something to Wonder Woman that's, I don't know, like funny and appropriate, Lobo-esque. And in the back, you put Wonder Woman doing whatever you want. So he puts in the front, he draws that Lobo right there, tied up with Wonder Woman's lasso of truth, smoking like he always smokes. You got his chain and his hook down here, which are all the things I asked for. And he says, and anyone who collects Wonder Woman stuff gets that. So bondage, huh? So it's Lobo on a Wonder Woman comic in bondage, which is already funny to me off top. As a comic fan, that's funny to me. Then you go to the back, and you got this beautiful Wonder Woman right here. She got her lasso all glowing out. And she says to him, bite me, fanboy, which is one of his signature trademarks. So it's like they're kind of swapping places with the trademarks where she's usually in front in the bondage and he's usually the one saying, bite me, fanboy. And it's pretty cool. It just works. Like, to me, this is hilarious. I love the art. Eddie's going to hook me up with some paperwork, and I'm about to send this to CBCS and get it slabbed and nice and protected so I could display it on my wall year round, and I could display it like that if I want to, or I could display it like that if I want to. It's a wraparound. Eddie, man, this is dope. I don't know what to tell you, brother. I appreciate it. For anybody who was looking for some custom art, hit up Eddie. Eddie's a man. Eddie will hook you up with some cool art. Well, he's not gonna hook you up. You mean he hooked me? He didn't hook me up. Let me take a couple steps back. He's gonna make some nice artwork for you, but you gotta hook him up. Hook him up. You guys figure out what the deal is. Eddie's a very reasonable guy. Sometimes he asks for books for his art. Sometimes he asks for monetary payment for his art. Either way, I mean, shit, it's worth it. What I gave Eddie for this is 100 times worth it. I really appreciate this. I love this. I can't wait to get it slabbed and graded. I can't wait because I don't want to send it and have it be gone for fucking 7-8 months, however long it's gonna take. But but anyway, yeah, I really want it to be slabbed and graded. I can't wait for that. So anyways, you guys, that's it. That's my spiel for today. You guys got to see some Lobo books. If you're still around, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Shoot Eddie some love, man. This is freaking dope. I really enjoyed this. I really like this. So you guys shoot him some love on his Facebook or on his YouTube. He don't have a Facebook. I'm trying to get him to get a Facebook so he can start doing more art for everybody in the community because people want it. It's out there. If you guys have any questions on how to contact Eddie or whatever, get at me. I'll let you know how to get a hold of him. And that's my Lobo stuff. That's my shout out to Eddie. And if you get a chance, do the Secret Santa. Hit me up. Chillil's Comics at yahoo.com. And until I see you next time, keep stacking Hella Comics.